It's time to have some fun.
Get that stuff out of here. It's Southwest Bias.
It's Southwest Bias live in Studio K, brought to you by our friends at Circle K. Make sure to download the Circle K app and become an Inner Circle member. And I want to tell you a bit of a story. Stick with me here, but I went to see the movie Superman yesterday. And no, this isn't a review of the film. It's not any critique or praise of it. But I was sitting next to what looked like a 50 or 60-year-old man who turned out to be autistic. And throughout the film, he got so excited when he saw Superman fly, when he saw the dog, when he saw all these things in this film, like to the point of pure joy, right? Just excitement, where he was having fun, where nothing else in the world mattered, where that moment meant so damn much to him. And I sat there and I thought, why do we not feel that in sports like anymore? Like that's the way I want to try to approach sports, is with that joy, with that excitement, with that fun. Because essentially we're sitting there watching adult men play a kid's game. We're rooting for laundry, and I want to have some fun with it. And he inspired me to look at it that way. And then I look at the Diamondbacks this weekend, and I see a team who's kind of been caught, in the middle, whether they're going to compete or not, whether they're good or not, whether they're an above 500 team or not. They keep vacillating back and forth. And as a fan, it's felt like, oh, should I be angry about this because they're not this team that we thought they were? But then you think about the injuries, the devastation to the bullpen, these things that have happened, that this team has found a way to keep their heads above water. They've found a way to be entertaining a lot of the time. I mean, heck, Corbin Carroll's been fantastic. Eugenio Suarez is so close to making a run at the Diamondbacks' all-time home run record. I think he needs like 22 to tie Gonzo's record, right? And to me, that is something we should be having fun with. And I know the trade deadline's coming up. And when you look at that, you go, oh, well, should you sell because Suarez's contract? I get the minutia. But I want to have some fun with this team. I want to see what Eugenio Suarez can do the rest of the year. I want to see if this great season by Corbin Carroll can lead to something. I want to see this team be both buyers and sellers at the deadline, but not sell off so much that you're waving the white flag for the rest of the season. I want to look at guys either in the farm system or guys, maybe a Josh Naylor. Maybe there's some of the outfield depth that you have that you make a move with to get bullpen arms. Because it feels like that's what has done this team in this season, is the lack of bullpen arms due to the injuries. So why not stay somewhat the course, sell somebody off, but bring in some of the fantastic bullpen depth that's out there in the league that's going to be available. Give this team a chance. Let this team see what they can do. Like, I get the expectations coming in, but those expectations don't matter now. We understand the reality of where they are. And I want to see a fun, scrappy team fight their way into the wild card. And then, as we know, because of 2021 or 2023, anything can happen. You roll those dice. This team gets hot, and all of a sudden, things are different. We're having fun. I want to enjoy what these guys are capable of doing, what they are able to put out there the rest of the way. I don't think this should be a fire sale. And I know a lot of people look at it that way. I just don't. Maybe you consider a Zach Allen deal and get some bullpen arms and maybe a fifth starting pitcher. Maybe, again, minor league guys. But I want to see what this team can accomplish. That's what I want to see the rest of the way. Because I want to have joy, like that kid that I sat next to, or not the kid, the adult with autism that I sat next to that had fun, that enjoyed it, that had a damn good time. Because that's what it's about. And that brings me to another thing I want to discuss. And I wasn't planning on going this route. I don't like calling out other people. But I'm not sure if you saw Dan Bickley's Bickley Blast today, where I feel like he took unnecessary shots at Ketel Marte, called him a soft superstar, questioned him taking time off over this last series, suggested that maybe the simplistic way to look at things is they should have traded Ketel for bullpen arms. Why are we calling a guy who decides to take care of some of his personal things soft? The man had almost $500,000 worth of his personal belongings stolen while he was at the All-Star game. That is a personal violation. And not just for him, but it's for his entire family. That's a violation. For those young kids he has, trying to explain to them why things in their house are missing, why things are not normal. Why is that wrong that he decided to take the opportunity to focus on his family? And the implication of soft superstar, I think, goes beyond just taking the time off. I think it goes back to what happened in Chicago during that White Sox game. Because he showed emotion, because somebody said something about his dead mother that personally hurt him. That's not soft to me. That's actually strong. In a world where we want to talk about machismo and this and that sports is the most important thing. No, sometimes life and family are the most important thing. Sometimes showing emotion, even if it's crying in front of 30,000 people, is the strongest thing you can actually do because it shows you care about those that you love. There's nothing soft about taking time off because your family has gone through something that was personally violating. And I don't care what the series is. I don't care if it has playoff implications. If something happens to you and or your family, you have every right to be man enough to say, I need a few days. I do not think that that is anything wrong with that. There is nothing soft about that or about showing emotion about your dead mother when you're heckled. There's nothing soft about Ketel Marte. Ketel Marte exemplifies what that Diamondbacks team is about. And I am perfectly fine with everything that he did. And I think calling him out for taking care of himself and his family is putting sports way too important ahead of other things. Like I said, sports are here for us to enjoy. These people are people, nonetheless. Not some playthings, not some things that we can sit here and constantly treat as if they're not human beings. These people are human beings with feelings. That matters. And taking care of that is as much the organization's priority, or it should be as much the organization's priority as anything else. I wish that more of us could be like that man I sat next to in Superman. Unbridled joy, enjoying the moment and being present in it, and not continuing to go the cynical route that things have turned to. I understand that clickbait is a thing. And you know what? We participated in it sometimes, but that's more about trade deadline stuff and different things. We're never actually going to do it when it comes to something personal like that. Ketel Marte did the right thing. And I want us to all have a little bit more empathy and joy when it comes to sports rather than the cynical view. But maybe that's my Southwest bias. We welcome in the mustache behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach. Shane, how are you today?
Good. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. I was planning on coming in just positive about what we saw from the Diamondbacks over the weekend. They swept the Cardinals. I think they've given us hope, and I think that is an important thing. Like, I think we need to ride that out a little bit here and see what they can do.
Let's bring the sun out because it wasn't out yesterday.
Yeah, look at that. The sun is back. What do you make of the Diamondback situation?
Well, I think in some way I kind of think that sweeping the Cardinals could be one of the worst things that could happen to them because now they're in the in-between phase where they don't know what they're going to do. Like, at least they had kind of a clear path last week where it was like, all right, this team should probably sell because that is probably the right thing. Because you look at Gino's contract, he's gone after this year. You're going to lose him for nothing. Like, I don't think you're going to sign him to whatever, like, a team like the Tampa Bay Rays are going to give him.
Yeah, I mean, in his mid-30s, I understand. I understand the future view and can you recoup some prospects. I also understand how rare the kind of season he's having is and how special that can be too. But I understand that perspective.
So I think that they should probably still be sellers at the deadline, in my opinion. As hard as that is to hear, like, some years you just look at the year and you say, this ain't it. You lost your best pitcher, or what should have been your best pitcher, in Corbin Burns. Zach Gallen is having one of the worst years in recent memory. Like, your only bright spot in the rotation is Mert, and he's hurt all the time. So, and don't, like, obviously everybody knows how bad the bullpen's been riddled with injury. So, I think aside from the record, aside from, like, you look at this team, I don't think they're winning anything this year.
Yeah, I'm on the again. I want to enjoy some of this. Tearing it apart, trying to get prospects for. I understand the future aspect of it. I also understand Corbin's having a special season. Eugenio Suarez. If you could get some bullpen arms for some guys and shift things around, maybe it could actually make a run and do something, at least make it interesting. Because really, I get that we're a championship or bust mindset. I understand that that's Phoenix, that's sports culture. But sometimes it's just the anticipation of could they do something special, right? And I don't know that I'm ready to give up on that. Now, they could get swept the next series, and I could sit here on Wednesday and go, okay, I get that. And I get that it's been a roller coaster, but there's something about that guy next to me that just got me thinking, I want to just have some fun. I don't want to sit here and nitpick about what a guy could get dealt for, or how many prospects, or how long will a rebuild take for the Diamondbacks. I want to see Eugenio Suarez break the Diamondbacks home run record, right? I want to see Corbin Carroll hit more triples and do it for a team that's actually trying to get in the playoffs rather than accepting that they're not going to get a wild card spot. That's where I'm at, and maybe it's a byproduct of watching the Suns and feeling that failure and just wanting something to enjoy. But I still see glimpses of that Diamondbacks team being enjoyable.
Yeah.
And then the Ketel Marte thing. I just had to get that off my chest today.
ESPN 3546 brings up, pretty sure we'd all given up in 2023 at this time of the year. Look what happened. 100% it was a very similar vibe, but it wasn't the injury vibe. Like, it was, they just need to figure it out.
But doesn't the injury vibe give you even more hope? Because it's, if we could put some bullpen arms in there, like if this team had bullpen arms that weren't injured,
no, because
they would be in a much different spot.
You don't win playoff series with a bad rotation.
You think this is a bad rotation?
Yes.
I don't think this is a horrible rotation.
It's bad. You have two formidable starting pitchers in your starting 5 rotation. And in the playoffs, it's just not going to cut it. You might win a wild card round, but I don't see it happening.
I'd rather just win a wild card round this year, have a little excitement, and
set yourself up worse next year.
Are you setting yourself up?
Yeah, because you're losing Gino for nothing.
I don't think that necessarily. You're going to get some guys that maybe won't play for 3 or 4 years in a deal, so you're still not helping yourself next year necessarily.
Yeah,
like that's the problem with baseball trades to me too. Is you're banking on, we're going to get this 22-year-old kid that's in South Florida, summer, A league that maybe will be something. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I actually like it. Thank you to everybody, all the bias in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button while you are here. I just want some fun. And there's some more to talk about on the other side of the break as we look at what I saw over the weekend on the internet. That's coming up on Southwest Bias. Oh, we've got our friends at Branded Bills to talk about. I've told you about how Branded Bills is one of the best out there in the country at making custom hats and some of their just regular hat wear. They've got great college hats. They've got Suns hats that you can pick up at the arena. They've got some of these great state hats that I wear, and they'll make your company a custom hat, just like we have our PHNX custom hats with the pennant. You got Phoenix. We got one with our logo. They are the best hats I have ever worn. They're breathable, which is important in the summer months, but they're fashionable as well. They're not just functional. Like you think, I hear breathable, it's just going to be a functional hat I can wear while I'm outside doing yard work. No. These look good too. I've worn them on dates. I've worn them plenty of places, and nobody even looks at you twice. Like, what are you doing wearing a hat here? They go, where did you get that hat? It's at Branded Bills, and I want to give you 15% off at brandedbills.com using that promo code BBPHNX for 15% off your first order. And have you been to Phoenix Raceway? It is the best entertainment in sports coming up here. It's the oval track that you can't miss because it is one of the best venues in the States. It is a hidden gem. If you have not been out there, you are missing out. It is one of my favorite venues. I hadn't been out there until last year, and then I got a chance to not only see a race, but just go out there and be on the track. I ran a pace lap in the pace car, and it was unbelievable to see it, and it's right there in the mountains. It is spectacular, and if you are a NASCAR fan or you're not, I want you to go check it out in the infield experience by Desert Diamond Casinos. But you get up close in the garage, you meet drivers, you walking to the track, you catch the pregame concert, which is a really cool thing. The pre-race concert is fantastic. You can check it all out, and I want you to get those tickets and hospitality upgrades because they're still available. Get them at phoenixraceway.com, and it is time to keep scrolling because I found some stuff on the internet this weekend that I wanted to talk about on the program, and you may have missed it, but Charles Barkley recently had something to say about Devin Booker, and I found it pretty damn entertaining when he said, quote, "Think about it. Devin Booker, who's a hell of a player, is going to make $70 million a year to dribble a stupid basketball." And I just love Charles Barkley's candor, because I know we've all thought this at one point or another, right? This is a guy that's playing hoops, right, making $70 million a year. And there's nothing wrong with it. The market's dictated that that's what he's worth. That's what the NBA is willing to pay. But Charles Barkley's simplification of it is so true. He's going to get paid $70 million to dribble a stupid basketball. And maybe some of that's bitter because Charles Barkley obviously didn't make that much in his career, but I thought it was entertaining. Also, we've heard about these rivalry uniforms that the Cardinals are going to be dropping with Nike for this upcoming season that they're going to wear in an NFC West game this year. Well, we haven't seen what they look like. There's a lot of speculation that they're going to be like a sand color with red and white, but a internet influencer caught up with Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray said we're going to like him.
Tyler, what do you think about the rivalry jerseys, and what do you think if it were up to you, what would the Cardinals rivalry jersey look like?
Wait till you see them.
You're just waiting?
Yeah,
do you like the...
Wait till you see them.
Oh, you've seen them?
Yeah.
You like them? Nice. All right.
They're beautiful. I'll take that. I'm all for alternate jerseys, and I think it's going to be fun to see what they come up with and see if they come up with an alternate helmet. I think they're going to stick with the black. I think that's what I've heard, but I'm looking forward to seeing if they do something with either the black shell or the white shell with a different decal on it. And then the long saga of Chris Paul. I told you on the program Chris Paul wasn't coming to Phoenix. I told you it wasn't going to happen. I said the Clippers were where he's going to go, and guess what? He signed with the Clippers reportedly today, as I think the interest was always more in his court than it was ever with the Suns wanting to bring him here to the Valley again. So it looks like he's going to spend his final season with the Clippers. He'll join that other guy that we no longer talk about, the former Sun there in LA. And I feel like they've put together, after we heard super teams are dead, them and the Lakers are trying to put together super teams. But I feel like the Clippers' biggest superpower may be time on the injured list, because these guys are quite frail when you look at it with Kawhi, that guy we don't mention, Chris Paul, even James Harden. I think they're looking at what might be a very unique season there in LA. And then speaking of a former Clipper that may be coming to Phoenix, Ben Simmons, there's some rumors from the Stein line, our friend Mark Stein, saying that the Suns have had some dialogue with the former All-Star recently, that they may acquire him. I think they have they're looking for a defensive mindset and somebody that can pass. Reportedly, they had interest in Marcus Smart before he chose the Lakers, and that they had been in on those discussions. So for those of you kind of wanting maybe an offensive-minded guard, I don't think they're going to go that way. I think they're going to look for a guy that's defensive-minded, maybe with some size, that can also throw some lob passes. I think that's where they're looking, and maybe that's why they're looking at Ben Simmons. I know there's conflicting reports, but just passing on what Mark Stein said. So that is scrolling, what I saw on the internet this weekend that I thought you should know. But I said we wanted to have some fun, so it's time for another Espo's Big Board, as we're going to look at the 5 reasons for optimism in Phoenix sports and Arizona sports over the next few months. I know things have seemed dark, things have seemed difficult, but there are 5 reasons in my mind that we should be optimistic. And number 5 on the list, the Suns are different than they were. And I think that alone is reason for optimism. They're not the same team that we've dealt with recently. They're not the same team that disappointed us so wholeheartedly for a while. I think that the Suns being different is certainly a reason for optimism. Now, will it necessarily pan out? I don't know. Will it fix all their problems? Not sure. But optimism isn't about that things are going to work out perfectly. It's about having some hope. And we know that hope, according to our friend Coach Dar, is hold on, pain ends. And I'm just hoping the pain of the last few seasons will end. So the Suns being different is on my list. Number 4 on the list is a simple principle, but with 2 guys that I think make it feel like it could be important. It's athleticism, and that's because Kyler Murray and Corbin Carroll each have that. And that is important right now for this city, because those guys, anything can happen when they're on the field. Kyler Murray needs to take a big step, and we're going to talk Cardinals tomorrow, previewing what's coming up in training camp with our friend Johnny Venerable, and we'll be looking at what Kyler can do. But Kyler Murray's athleticism on a football field is like a jazz musician. Anything can happen at any time. And Corbin Carroll's athleticism, his speed, what he can do on the base paths is unbelievable. And watching him hit as many triples as he has this year gets me excited. And that is reason for optimism. Number 3, I think we all can appreciate that there's a thin line between pain and pleasure. And we've been through so much pain that maybe, just maybe, we'll move into that pleasure category in the fall. And I think that, yeah, things have been tough. There's been bad luck. There's been things that have not gone in Arizona sports fans' favor over the last 6 to 8 months. But I'm hoping the tide turns in August and September and into October, because I really feel like there is a chance that the Cardinals, maybe the Diamondbacks, can give us something special. ASU, maybe even U of A football can surprise where they were a disappointment last year. And then the Suns being different can give us hope. So optimism reigns supreme, in part because we've been through the pain, and I'm hoping the pleasure there is next. Number 2 on the list is a simple one for me. It's Kenny Dillingham's enthusiasm. If you can't feel optimistic, if you can't get excited because Kenny Dillingham is excited about his team, about what he can do and about what he pulls off, I don't know how I can get you optimistic about what's going on in Arizona. Unless you're an Arizona football fan, an Arizona basketball fan, then I understand why Kenny Dillingham's enthusiasm.
Arizona State basketball fan.
Did I say?
You said Arizona twice.
No, I said,
Arizona.
no, I'm saying if you're an Arizona basketball or football fan, University of Arizona fan, Kenny Dillingham's enthusiasm might not get you excited.
I see.
Now, if you're an ASU basketball fan, Kenny Dillingham ain't helping you fix that either, but maybe you'll get lucky there in Bobby's final season. But I think Kenny Dillingham himself should get you optimistic and excited. And number 1 on the list, and this is the most important one and a serious one, it can't get worse. I know those are famous last words, and I'm knocking, touching metal, but come on. With what we've been through, it's tough to imagine a fall that's worse than the last fall, winter, and spring that we had. Is it possible? Sure. Did I just jinx us? Very likely. But I don't think that I'm hoping it can't get any worse. That is Espo's big board for today. And Shane, I think that's another Southwest bias in the books. Did we have a good Monday? Do you feel a little bit more optimistic? Do you feel a little bit happier about what's going on?
Yeah, I do. This weekend was rejuvenating because I saw RFK hiking Camelback Mountain in his jeans, and I said, I'm going to do that too. I'm just kidding. I didn't see that. But I did hike Camelback Mountain on Sunday.
Hold on. RFK or RFK Jr.?
RFK Jr.
If you saw RFK,
that'd be crazy.
You and I have some things to talk about after this program.
Yeah. No, RFK Jr. hiked Camelback in his jeans on Saturday or Friday when it was super hot out. And then I was like, who would hike Camelback in July? That's a bad idea, especially in your jeans. And then on Sunday, it was really nice out yesterday.
Did you wear your jeans?
I did not wear my jeans.
Oh, well, then you're disappointed.
But I did see a bat hiding.
What are you, soft? You didn't wear your jeans?
I am soft.
You saw a bat during the day at Camelback?
Yeah, I think it was either hurt or hiding. Oh. It was in a crevice.
Gotcha.
Yep. It was very cute.
Cute bats.
Yeah. A lot of bugs on the top of Camelback, by the way.
That's probably why the bat's there, because it's getting food.
Yeah, well, it was,
I mean, that's what bats eat, right? I'm not,
I think they eat fruit and bugs.
Fruit and bugs. There's no fruit, but there's
maybe
bugs.
That's just fruit bats.
Maybe. This is where we go on this program. You can follow him, the mustache behind the Mac, at Shane Deef. You can follow the program at PHNX_sports. You can follow me at Espo. And remember, it's all right to feel, and it's all right to feel joy when it comes to Valley sports teams. Ahoy, hoy!
We all silly like the mayor.